Can you get stronger with only 5-minute bouts of exercise? Stay tuned. We're going to cover exercise snacks, strength, what they are, how can you use 5 minutes to make strength gains, and we're going to cover some considerations and a little demo for you at the end. So let's start with the exercise snack. What is an exercise snack? It is a small bout of exercise repeated several times throughout the day. So generally you could start with about 5 minutes, but it could be a longer duration, maybe 8-10 minutes or more. And the value of these snacks is it's great for people who are just getting started with exercise. It's great for people who don't have a lot of time to exercise. It's great for people who maybe are resuming exercise, either after just taking a hiatus or maybe after an injury. What is strength? So strength is our ability to exert force. So what would we use that force for? To push things, to pull things, to carry things, to lift things. Climbing up a step requires strength. We have to generate force to lift our body weight. We also need strength to maintain good posture. Now, we don't just need strength, we probably need a few other things as well. But if you spent a lot of time in a curved or rounded position, you are going to need to learn to strengthen and shorten those muscles on the back. Another place where you might need to work on strength is, like me, after an injury where you've had a period of immobilization, where you can't move a limb or you can't walk on a limb. These are the times when we want to see if we can maintain our strength to the best of our ability. How do you make strength gains in only 5 minutes of exercise? Well, did you know that when you start a resistance program or a strength program, in the first 2 to 6 weeks, the muscles may not actually change in size. What actually may change is the nerve or neural component of your body, which is connected from the brain through the spinal cord to the muscles. So in the first 2 to 6 weeks, what happens is we kind of prime those connections from the brain to the spinal cord to the muscle fiber. And did you know that from the spinal cord, think of many pathways moving to a muscle, and at each of those pathways, it supplies many different muscle fibers. So for example, in my case, the gastrocs, the inside part of the gastrocs has about 580 connections from the spinal cord to my muscle fibers in the inside of my gastroc. And you know how many those 580 connections, they work with up to 1 million muscle fibers. So we have spine, we have the brain, we have the spinal cord, we have what we call the motor unit, which is that nerve connection to the muscle fibers. And through exercise, we improve our ability to recruit more of those connections, which means we're going to recruit more muscle fibers, which means we're going to be stronger. By increasing that mind to muscle or that mind to body connection, we are going to increase our strength in that first 2 to 6 weeks of exercising. How would you design your exercise snack? You can start with the ABCs of exercise design, which I have another video on. And that looks at warm-up, A for warm-up, B for the body of the workout, and C for the cool down. So you could incorporate that into 5 minutes. For example, you could take a little walk from your desk for 1 minute, then you come back and you do your 3 minutes of focused exercise, and then maybe the last minute you do a little stretch that you know will be a benefit to you. And if you're really not sure if you should be exercising, please go find an activity readiness questionnaire. Yes, and I have a video on that too. So take a look at that, and that will help you decide if you really need some in-depth guidance. Okay, and remember, this is my program that works for me, and I'll show you now. I have a little special friend with me, and anyways, if you want to know more about this, I have a video about that too. So, listen, you've got lots you can take a look at either on Facebook, or you can check out my YouTube channel, AndreaNunn_exercise, for more information. So let's get into the demo. Woohoo! All right, let's do the demo. So let's see if we can go for 5. I'm going to just start with some easy breezy chest presses. So I am using a very lightweight, and there's a reason. You know, I'm still using crutches, so I don't really need to overwork my arms, but I do need to balance them. So I'm using a super lightweight. I can do many, many, many repetitions. What I do to increase the intensity, I start to engage my abdominals while I'm doing this. I'm focusing on drawing in my abs. I'm also thinking about a nice, smooth, coordinated movement. And you can see now I'm getting a little fatigued in my arms. So I'm going to move on to a little bit more of some leg work. Easy stuff to do, working those abs. I'm tensing my abs. I'm on the floor. I can use something to support my head if I need to, or I can just work on a nice open posture. I am engaging these abdominals. I am improving that connection from my brain to my abdomen so I can increase the number of muscle fibers that I'm using. And if I want to increase the load, well, I don't put my foot back down on the ground, and there is now a little more work. I'm using my own body as the load for my abs. So we started 18. We're already down 2 minutes, Engage, 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 engage. Yes. And then we can lengthen that lever just a little bit more. Whew, whew. And it's all about intention, right? You've got to intend to engage, right? And that's how we're going to get stronger. Okay, well, I could probably do a little bit more of that, but I'd like you to, let's switch it up. Let's turn ourselves over onto my hands and knees, where I can do a little bit of work for my back, or what we call, some people like to call, their posterior chain, right? So I've been sitting a lot in a chair, and I need to open up my chest and strengthen the muscles at the back of my shoulder. And then I might just grab, again, a nice lightweight for me, not trying to overdo it, but I can only do, about 6 or 7 of those before the mechanics start to kind of fall apart. So that's when you know you've fatigued, and that will help you improve the recruitment of the muscle and engage it more. You could even do this without any weight, right? We can just use the weight of our arm. You might have to do more reps. You might have to focus on moving that shoulder blade, engaging your abs, pressing through the hand that's on the floor, and let's switch it up. We'll go to the other side, and we are getting close to, we're almost there. We got another minute to go. So before we finish, let's do one more thing for that posterior chain. And I'm going to get my glutes going here. So these glutes, you got to keep them working, especially if you've been sitting a lot, or if you have been injured like me where you can't put your leg on the floor for a period of time. Guess what? They get weak real fast. So it's worth it. These little bits of exercise, upsie-daisy. Okay, we have finished our 5 minutes. So You can see it doesn't take a lot. Hello. And, you know, what actually happens is once you get down there, you actually want to stay there and you want to keep going. So I have taken those 5-minute exercise snacks and I have now expanded to a 30-minute workout on the floor. So that is the second most beautiful thing of the exercise snacks, is that you can take all these 5-minute bouts, and if you have a day where you have more time, you can put them together. And then you have a full meal. You're not just snacking anymore, you're having a full meal. Question. Can you think of at least one snack that you could do today, or one position where you could do some form of exercise? I want you to write it in the comments. Once again, I love to hear from you and I look forward to your responses. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.